Hello everyone, it's Sandra. I hope you're having a nice chill weekend. I'm having a chill weekend quite literally because it was minus 13 degrees Celsius this morning. Today's video is going to be about the project pan that I'm going to do for 2021. The 5 products that I did not use up in 2020. I'm going to try my hardest to use them up this year. So I have them in my little Muji organizer here, and I'm going to put it into my makeup drawer. I have my little everyday makeup drawer here, and then I thought it would be fun to share with you the 5 new products I'm going to add to my project pan pile, and then just kind of reorganize and build my everyday makeup drawer with you. Not going to go into too much detail over these because I already have, but these are the 5 leftover 2020 products that I'm going to be trying to use up this year. The Clarins Liquid Bronzer, Charlotte Tilbury Lipstick, Tarte Exposed Blush, Lila B Bronzer, and Bobbi Brown Cream Blush. I did want to throw in some items that I knew would be easy for me to use up, because I think if you're ever doing a project pan, if you just fill it with items that are very difficult to use up, like if you pick 10 blushes or 10 eyeshadows or something like that, and you have a low success rate, that's not going to motivate you to keep going. The way our brain works, you kind of have to, you have to be more encouraging and be kind to yourself. I definitely focused these 5 items on complexion because I do know that complexion products, I tend to wear a complexion product every single day. So it's like the makeup category where I buy the most and I also use the most. So I thought it would be nice to use up some mediocre base products and just make room for something new. And I'm not going to let myself buy any new foundation until I use up these 3 base products as part of my project pan. The first 2 will come as no surprise. I kind of alluded to doing this when I did my makeup I bought but never used video, and it's these 2 Surratt foundations. I don't love either of them, to be honest. I wouldn't repurchase either of them, but I don't absolutely hate them either. I really want to try to make them work. I have been mixing them together. This is the Surratt Surreal Skin Wand. I have this in shade number 5, which is quite fair, and then I have the Dewdrop foundation by Surratt in shade 8, which tone-wise, it's way too peachy. It needs to be mixed in order for me to make it work, both of these. So together they kind of worked. It wasn't the most mind-blowing base combination, but I didn't hate it either. It was fine, especially now, at least from, working from home and stuff, I don't need a base that is super hard, long wearing or anything. And if I do need to go out, if I'm wearing a mask, then I do my Lancome Tanti Doll foundation or the Clarins Everlasting foundation, something with a bit more lasting power. But I think now, since I'm still going to be working from home for the foreseeable future, could be a great opportunity for me to use up some of these mediocre foundations that I have laying around. So these 2 are part of my project pan for 2021. Then I also wanted to add the Sicily Tinted Moisturizer to the mix. This is another product that I feel very neutral towards it. I don't love it. I don't hate it either. The shade is nice. It's neutral, which makes it play really nicely with other stuff. I've been mixing it with foundations. I enjoy it by itself too, so thought it would be nice to be able to use it up. Again, the theme here is base products, they're mediocre for me. So I have this Laura Mercier setting powder. This is the small version of the translucent setting powder. I've had this for a year now and I've barely made a dent in it because I don't like this powder. I just don't see the hype. I had the full size before several years ago, and I felt the same way about it then. Every time I see people talking about it, somebody uses it and it looks amazing, and I thought, hey, you know what, maybe I'll give this another try. It's fine. I mean, it does work in a pinch. I do find that if I use a damp sponge to apply it, it has a nice little smoothing effect, but I just don't find it to be long lasting. Any benefits that I get from setting my makeup with this powder feel like they're completely gone after about 2 hours. It has no oil control, and even if I try to bake with it, that smoothing effect that I get from it is very short-lived. It's not a long-lasting effect for me. The next thing is this It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Illumination. This was sent to me by It Cosmetics, and again, I don't hate it, I don't love it, but I do want to use it up. It's a translucent pressed powder with very, very fine, there's like a very, very fine light reflecting. I'm just kind of using this as a finishing powder. The effect that this gives reminds me of the effect that I would get from an Hourglass, one of those Hourglass ambient light powders. So it's that type of vibe. I personally don't see this as a necessary step in my makeup routine. I don't find the pore, like the pore smoothing effects. I don't think that this smooths pores as well as it claims. You know, it claims to be a poreless finish airbrush pressed powder. It sets the makeup in place. It gives me like I said, it kind of gives me that Hourglass ambient lighting vibe, but it's just not something that is a must-have for me. But I do want to use it up, and yeah, it's being added to the list. So those are the 5 products that I'm adding to the 5 that I didn't use up in 2020. And altogether we have 10 items that I am, fingers crossed, going to use up in 2021. I'm going to put them in my little makeup drawer and kind of organize my everyday makeup with you. I emptied it all out, did my little seasonal cleaning, and now I'm going to kind of put everything together. And the way I had this thing organized was kind of doing cheek products here, base products here, concealer there, and then fun little eyeshadows or lipsticks here. These are kind of like the stuff, just stuff that I'm into in a particular week. I'm going to put the foundations here, the Charlotte foundations, the Sicily tinted moisturizer. These are kind of like my Project Pan items, along with my powders. Then, even though I'm going to try my best to use up these 2 powders, I can't not have my By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder in there, along with my go-to under eye setting powder, which is the Pat McGrath one. Also throwing in my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Primer, because this is something that I like to use if I have any dry patches. So we have that. This is where the concealers go. So, holy grail material here, my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, my Laura Mercier concealer, then my Sicily corrector, which I absolutely love, and then these are the 2 concealers that I'm using under my eyes the most right now, so I thought I would kind of put them in here so that they're easier to access. And then for cheek products, I'm also really, really into this, I think it's called Happy Hour blush by Tower 28. I've been loving this, as well as the Bobbi Brown blush with the Chantecaille Lumiere, Liquid Lumiere on top. This is such a beautiful blush topper. A couple videos ago, I wore it, and I don't think I've ever gotten so many comments about how glowy my cheeks were, and it was all due to this product. It's a beautiful, beautiful blush topper, has a beautiful pink iridescence to it, so definitely having a moment with this, so I'm keeping it in here. The rest of the area here is where I just put the fun stuff that I'm into right now. Really, really enjoying this. This is the Auric Cosmetics. This is Samantha Rabindahl's makeup brand. She has this beautiful liquid luminizer called Glow Lust. I got the shade Pyrite, which has this beautiful, slightly olivey undertone, and I have been really enjoying this either mixed with foundations, especially with a more matte foundation, a more matte neutral foundation, if I just want to give it that hint of an olivey undertone and a bit of glow. It's a beautiful mixing product. I've also really enjoyed using this just at the tops of my cheekbones as a highlighter. I don't like using this by itself all over my face as a primer. I feel like my face is a bit too oily for that. But if I just do a quarter of a pump of it mixed with a foundation, I love that. Or if I just use a small amount on top of my cheekbones, I love that too. I don't have the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter anymore, and even when I did, I never had the full size of it. I just had a little pot of it that my friend decanted for me, and this feels a bit more emollient. It doesn't set as quickly as the Charlotte Tilbury. You kind of get more playtime with it, and it gives me more of like a wet glow, which I actually really prefer. It gives me a wet glow, but it doesn't emphasize my texture, my acne scars, my pores, like nothing. It's just the most flattering glow, basically. So there you have it. A glowing review for the Glow Lust. Also adding my Lancome Teinte Doll into the mix. Actually, you know what? Let me just do this. I feel like this might make more sense. So I have my powders, my foundations, these two things that I'm also really into. Then I'm going to put my Rowan quads in here because I'm still having a moment with them. I'm just really enjoying doing a really easy eye with just bronzer in the crease and then just dipping my finger in any of the colors of these and just applying them, and then I'm kind of good to go. But I'm going to store them like this so that I can see what is what. So I'm just kind of gonna put them like that so I know. I put my lipstick in here. My lip gloss, still love this Clarins Natural Lip Perfector Intense. I think it's the color 19. I think it's called Intense Smoky Rosewood. I'm also really enjoying this Jouer Bare Rose. Just the most beautiful sheer mauvey lipstick. This is very much a My Lips But Better color for me. It's a little bit darker than the Peony shade that I also really like. I was into Peony a lot in January, but I think February and March will be all about Bare Rose. And then I'm probably going to put my Auric, the cream shadow too. I bought the Defiance, which is the bronze one, and then I bought Temper, which is the rose gold one. I actually like Defiance the best. And then one day I will do a makeup collection video, but this is essentially where I store it. I just have this IKEA Billy cabinet. Wanted to pick up the other one. This is Temper. So here, I opened both of my little Auric eyeshadow pots so that you can see them in all their glory. You get the cream portion, and then there's glitter topper that goes on top. Very much along the lines of the Tom Ford Eyeshadow Duos. I don't have the Tom Ford Eyeshadow Duos. I never bought them. I only ever had the Tom Ford Spice Cream Eyeshadow back in the day, which I no longer own because it expired. They just feel more airy. They almost have like a whipped quality to it, which is great because that makes them really, really easy to work with. They're really, really easy to spread out. But in terms of pigment intensity and richness of saturation of the color, Tom Ford has a slight edge, but that doesn't mean that I don't love these. I actually really, really like both of these. I do like Defiance a little bit more because I feel like the glitter topper is more dense. The glitter topper in the rose gold shade, the Temper shade, is just, it's a bit harder to kind of get product out, as you can see. As you can see, it's just like a very faint whisper of glitter, whereas with this one, you get a lot more. See the difference in the deposit? All right, so this is my everyday makeup drawer for the next little while. I'm actually really happy with what's in here, and if you're doing Project Pan with me, good luck as well. I'm feeling optimistic. I just look at these products and I feel excited about putting them all on my face, which is the best way that one should feel about makeup. Obviously, there's no mascara or brow powders or whatever. I do have a little cup that I keep on my vanity for this stuff. This is a drawer that I use mostly for color, complexion. Very, very happy with it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for watching this video. Let me know if you're planning on doing a Project Pan 2021. And if you are, let me know in the comment section below which products you are kind of trying to commit to use up this year. I am hoping that 2021 will be a kinder year to us all, and that we get to use up some makeup, show some love to the stuff. And if you haven't watched my makeup I bought but never used video, that could be a fun challenge to do on the weekend if you have some time, and doing that challenge might help you make some selections. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.